This Could Get Dicey is an imperfect D&D game, played imperfectly. Content warnings can be found in the episode description.
Hello, and welcome to This Could Get Dicey, a D&D podcast where a group of buds get to unwind from their 9-to-5s and step into the world of Drugala. My name is Destine Nieto, I play Lü'mis Bjorn, and before things get a little too dicey, I'd just like to say it's a beautiful day to finish reading a book.
Good answer.
It's a once in a blue moon feeling for me, but man, do you feel
Same.
accomplished.
It's been so long.
I feel so accomplished.
Yeah.
What book did you read?
Yeah, you want to share what you read, or
yes,
or
no, it was The Adventures of Pinocchio, the 1939 version. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. Wild, absolutely wild.
Does he win?
What?
Did you say does he win?
Does he win?
Does he win?
I mean, spoilers. He does become a real boy, but his adventures getting there, not like the Disney movie.
Pinocchio is so scary, like Monstrano, the scary whale. Is that in the book?
He's not
Scary
called
whale.
that. It's called like a dogfish or something like that.
What?
It's very weird.
Cool.
Also, spoilers. Sorry if you're going to read this, listeners. He kills Jiminy Cricket.
Oh, fuck yeah!
He makes his own luck.
Boy, Disney was really wild, and they're like, what's the darkest story that's out there? Cool. Let's turn it into, like, Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like, that's dark as hell. And
The
it was
mass
a dark Disney movie.
genocide? The mass genocide of American Indians?
Yeah.
Terrible.
Make it a movie.
Colors of the Wind.
Make it a movie.
Frozen.
Yeah, terrible what they did
Yeah,
to
like,
Dina Menzel.
family trauma.
Yeah. My name is Alex Villarreal. I am playing the character of Ellis Vendove, and today's a beautiful day to turn on your guitar amp for the first time in probably 10 months, almost a year probably.
What did it say to you?
It said let's rock today.
Aw.
How'd you turn it on?
What?
How did you turn it on?
I plugged it in and I flipped the switch. Same thing.
joke.
I mean, I was trying to think of like a sexy thing to say.
Yeah.
I plugged my cable into its hole,
Ooh.
and then I put the other end of the cable into my guitar's hole.
Spoiler, there's going to be no romances in this whole campaign because that's how Alex roleplays that out.
That's the extent of it.
Sorry.
I am I am Kenny Chilton, and I'm playing the worlds are blending together. I'm Kenny Chilton, and I'm playing Emil Mazak, and it's a beautiful day to pack a suitcase, perfectly, where everything fits in, and it's completely flat, and I don't have to cram it closed.
Ooh, that's nice.
Tiny victories.
Do you have
Tiny victories.
organizers, like luggage organizers, or are you just that efficient?
Nah, it's just wild in there, and I just fit it all in perfectly. There's like a whole suit in there, and clothes, and shoes, and it's like one of the small ones. I'm really proud of myself.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
My name is Becky Schmader, and I am the game master for This Could Get Dicey, and it's a beautiful day to cry watching a little Grey's Anatomy over dinner.
Just French toast
Hell
and
yeah.
Dr. Gray.
French toasting.
Dr.
Is that
Gray,
the main
it was-
character? I don't know.
That's it. You got it. That's it.
Is it about his anatomy?
The show's
Ooh.
about her. The show's about her body.
We said no
not-
sexy
well,
stuff.
There could be sexy stuff on this
Grey's
podcast.
Anatomy is not the show.
Let's set the record straight. If people want to romance and get down on this podcast, it is allowed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I just don't
I've-
feel like it's going to happen. Prove me wrong, though.
Give me something to.
I've been
give me
throwing
something to
Gramps at
smooch
y'all, and
on,
you just
baby.
keep turning him away. I don't understand.
Oh,
Okay. last we left our adventurers, they were setting off for their 4th day of travel on the search for this mysterious plant that had been lost in an ambushed caravan. An owlbear had entered their camp the night before, and Emil revealed his ability to stab with his hands. A curse, a disease, an unknown ailment of sorts plagues him, and the best lead he has is that Indigo Magnolia will help him. With this new knowledge shared, the group grew a little bit closer, and that's where we find them on a beautiful, breezy autumn day heading out from camp. With that, would someone like to roll for your 4th day of travel to determine what might face ye on this day?
I think I did last time.
I got it.
Yeah, you go. But do a good one.
Yeah, I did a good one. I got a 5.
That's a good number.
It's my favorite number.
Did you say 5's your favorite number?
Yeah, you only get 10 choices, and 5's mine.
No, there's more than 10 numbers though. Do you know this?
I mean, of the single digits, you only get like you get 0 through 9.
Have you heard about 11?
Yes.
This new number. 5
Just
is a
dropped.
good one though.
You see on your trek today a bit of an exodus from the woods. There seems to be a constant flow of birds, squirrels, critters of all sorts moving through the woods to the east and to the south, so not north or west. They're moving south and east. Go ahead, anyone can go ahead and roll a perception check as you kind of see these critters moving.
11, which is a made-up number, confirm, Alex.
For the record.
For the record.
10 and 3.
I got it's a 2 and then a 5. I don't really know what to do at this point.
Oh, you guys are gonna break my head.
I got a natural 20 for a 25.
Mine was a 13.
13. Okay. Emil and Ellis, you're able to spot a group of these critters as they're moving out. And within the group, you see some unusual folk and critters that you haven't quite seen before. They're no bigger than a foot tall. They're little plant folk of different varieties, sort of wild onion and garlic folk with bulbs growing from their heads.
What?
Some of them little mushroom folk. They're lanky tendrils of arms and legs leaving the ground with reluctance as they plod along. There seems to be sort of an unease in the forest. That you're kind of feeling and seeing this exodus of critters, and you're not really sure what's going on.
Hey, y'all, look, it's breakfast. Who wants to take the first?
God damn it!
Take the first stab at them.
No, I think those might be inhabitants of the forest. Look, they're walking.
What
I've
are
never
you talking
seen-
about? I don't see anything.
Look, there's little bulbs of garlic walking right there.
I turn Lü'mis 90 degrees towards the mass exodus from the forest.
Oh God, is that what's happening to me?
You're turning into a little walking mushroom.
I don't fucking know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with me. Could be.
It's probably don't birds fly away right before a crazy natural disaster. It's probably gonna be an earthquake or something.
Ooh.
I yell at one of the garlics or onions or mushrooms, and I say, "Hey, what's wrong?"
Go ahead and roll roll a persuasion check as you call out to them.
Dirty 20.
Okay. They plot on up to you, and what languages do you speak?
Common, Elven, Dwarvish, and Celestial.
They don't speak any of that. Does anybody happen to speak Sylvan?
I do not.
Nope.
Great. These little critters see you sort of waving at them to, asking question, and they plod on over. Two little garlic buddies walk on over, and they look up at you and wave, and they start to talk to you in their language, but you're not able to comprehend exactly what they're saying.
As the garlic approaches, Lü'mis sneezes.
No, I didn't even think about that. I literally didn't even think about that when I did this. They jump back a little bit at the sneeze. They're a little, they're only about a foot tall.
Wow. Lü'mis, you really are a vampire. Wow.
Now we believe you.
Yeah, I didn't believe you before, but now that there's garlic in your presence and you're dying because there's garlic near you.
I go, well, I can't understand these little fuckers, so I cast Thunder Wave. I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Can I kind of get how are they feeling as they're talking to us? Is there anything I can get from nonverbals?
Sure, go ahead and roll insight on them as you are looking at them.
That's pretty good. 17 plus 2. 19.
Yeah, you're able to see that their little garlic hands, they're not garlic hands, they're like little grassy hands, are kind of, they're
Are they like green onions?
well, like the tops of wild garlic is kind of like chives.
Yeah.
In a sense. So that's kind of what their hands look like a little bit. But they're kind of wringing their hands a little bit, and they definitely seem to be trying to, I think, communicate, telling you to like turn around, like don't go the way you're going, and being like, bad, turn around. They seem very worried. You also kind of see that they have like gear packed up. They got little backpacks and little like wagons that they're pulling.
Oh my
This is
gosh.
very cute.
It's very cute, but they seem concerned.
I'd like to live with them.
Is it all like Is it all vegetation? Are there like squirrels and birds or anything, or is it just these little sort of edible creatures?
There are also squirrels and birds, and
Oh, okay.
you see little like field mice, things like that as well.
Well, I like leaning kind of close to one. I'm like, I'm sorry, I cannot understand you, unfortunately. You seem that you are in a terrible plight and are filled with anxiety, and I wish I could do more, but unfortunately, and I said, can you understand me?
They put up their hands a little bit and like signal that they understand you perhaps a little bit. They're getting your vibe just like you're getting their vibe.
I say, is the danger big? Is the danger R-sized?
They signal larger.
Larger.
Does anyone have any paper or something to draw on? Or I like look around for a stick.
I have some parchment.
Okay.
Yeah, let's put it in front of them and see if they can produce some imagery. I want to see their little hands grasp these quills or pens or whatever.
You see,
Yeah, dance for us.
You see Lü'mis pull out of their bag, knapsack, whatever, a very elegant looking journal, and they rip out a back page, I guess bend down, put the paper on the ground with a nice looking quill, sneezes, and then stands back up.
Sure. I think go ahead and do a persuasion check with advantage, whoever wants to do that.
Persuasion, we said?
Yes, with advantage.
Oh, okay, that one's a 19. That's 21, natural 20 for a 21.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, you're able to, signal to them and convince them to start scribbling something, and they draw this quill is probably like half their size.
It takes like three of them. It's like a party game.
Yeah. So like they wrap their little, vegetation tendrils around it and start scribbling what looks like a humanoid, but very large and no like distinct features, kind of more blocky looking, and then a big like black blob.
Is it a good drawing, or are they bad artists?
Given that this is probably a utensil well out of their size, it's pretty good.
Can we make out what other than a block
Can we make out?
figure? Yeah, can we make out?
I want to make out with a
Thoughts?
The garlic looks up to you and starts
No.
a kiss. Uppies.
It writes
Go ahead.
uppies on the paper.
Uppies now. Go ahead. The three of y'all, whoever wants to make it, could make a nature check, could make a history check, or perhaps an investigation check as you're looking at this drawing.
I'll do investigation.
I'm firing off the natural 20s right now. That's a
Damn.
that's a 24 for history.
Okay.
A dirty 20.
Okay.
Investigation.
Lü'mis?
13 history.
Okay. Ellis and Emil, you're able to decipher that this large humanoid thing that they've created is probably some sort of golem, giant, something in that realm. You're leaning more towards it being a golem, given that it doesn't have like very distinct features and seems to be made out of like one material from this crude drawing, I guess. crudely well drawn drawing, I'll say that. You're not really sure what the blob is that they drew, as that's like truly just kind of a scribbled blobby mess. But you think the large thing, humanoid thing that they've drawn is like a golem.
I think this must be their landlord, and he's evicted all of them in order to raise the rent. That big blob must be a money sack. People kind of have like landlords have a bad rap, I think.
Not this.
This is Emil talking. You know, sometimes you just gotta make a change.
Someone's gotta look. I get you, man. Someone's gotta own the property.
Someone has
They're good people, actually. They let us live there.
Not this being a pro-landlord podcast all of a sudden.
People should...
Look,
Nope, okay, let's move on.
No, I want to stick on this.
Let's talk about it.
I kid. That looks scary. Ooh, scary, I indicate to the little plant people.
Super fucking condescending.
But I look at my companions, but I need to go that way. I don't think there's a way around these woods. Are there, Becky?
I guess continuing with that, or go ahead and roll a survival check.
While you're doing that, I'm like, look, these things are like, that onion is like 3 inches tall. It's probably, this thing is probably just like a dog chasing them around. It's a dog. I'm putting all my money on a dog.
20. Dirty 20. Damn,
Okay,
this died. I'm keeping this one.
Yeah, y'all are hot tonight. Given the map you kind of saw before leaving and knowing the area like a little bit, given the information, knowing how far you've traveled, you know that this forest that they're kind of pointing at is probably the direction you need to be going, and that there's no way around it.
Yeah, this is the way, unfortunately. Does this drawing change anything for the two of you?
Not particularly, if you say this is the only way that we need to go.
Do you need a lozenge?
No, I have the sniffles.
Yeah, but drainage. I've had a cough for like 5 years, trust me.
What does a lozenge do for the drainage?
It our garlic friends don't need to hear this. Thank you very much. We're gonna keep going.
They sort of like bow to you and give you thumbs up and, kind of pat your leg a little bit like, good luck.
Oh.
And they kind of continue on their way with their little backpacks and wagons, joining up with the exodus of squirrels and birds and such.
If anyone out there listening can draw, please. I have to see these guys.
Start drawing them. As they kind of skitter off, I go, how nice. Am I a bad person that I wanted to eat every single one of those fools?
No.
Well, no, I don't think so. But they did seem more like sentient than like a farm animal. For instance, they drew a thing and communicated with us. So I'm not sure that would have been appropriate. But instinct is not bad. At least you didn't act on it.
I mean, I think it made them all the more delicious. We should keep going.
Fuck. I'm no expert on eating people, but...
Me neither. Never done it.
Why are you looking at me, Emil?
I just look side-eye, Lü'mis.
Oh, goodness. As you all keep... do you have... Wait.
Yeah, I was going to ask, should we maybe stay off the... go incognito for a little bit and try and stay hidden in case we run across this big landlord?
I mean, if we do run across the big landlord, I want to shake his hand and take him for a service. Or I mean, we can either go incognito and stealth, or we can just like run. I don't know. I was thinking, just what if we just run? Let's go for a nice little morning jog.
Yeah,
we just try to run and beat them.
I was thinking the same thing. Actually, it's either. I think if we're trying to play this safe, we either hide and go stealthy, or we literally fucking just sprint.
Will Gertrude be able to keep up?
I'm sure Gertrude could probably go faster than all of us.
Yeah, she's a horse.
Should one of us get on Gertrude?
Dibs.
Yeah, that might be not a bad idea.
I hop on Gertrude. I'm like, all right, y'all, let's yippee-ki-yay out of here.
I could use a good run.
You hop on Gertrude, who's also pulling the wagon, and you all are trying to move at a faster pace.
Oh, why don't y'all just get on the wagon and we all just like, why are you two gonna run? Why did we even bring up running? We have a car.
Well, one horse dragging.
What's a car?
A car is a motorized vehicle? Are you kidding me? You've been around for how many years?
Keep up with the times. I don't know if the horse could take pulling all three of us and the wagon. That's quite a heavy load.
Well, I worry that us trying to stealth with Gertrude will end up with Gertrude getting potentially eaten by a landlord.
Yeah, let's just. I don't mind running. I'm a good distance runner.
Same. I don't mind running.
All right, y'all. Oh, watch.
Okay,
Let's go.
Yeah.
So Ellis jumps in the wagon. Go ahead and do animal handling, Ellis, to determine how fast you could get Gertrude to go, and the other two do an athletics check to determine how well you will run this day.
Does the speed I have help and have any indication?
No.
I rolled a 4.
What is your speed? 4.
15. My speed is 40.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
So, and then, Emil, you rolled a 4?
A 4.
And Ellis, what did you roll for animal handling?
10.
Okay. Lü'mis is able to just, like, book it, like, well down the road, probably gets, like, a mile ahead of y'all. And, Emil, you're struggling. The wagon's moving at, like, a decent pace, probably not that much faster than normal, but you are getting, like, coughing fits as you're trying to, like, run. You're like, I'm a good runner. I'm a good distance runner, I promise. And you are, like, falling behind, hacking.
Must be the climate. Something weird in this forest.
Ellis, just hop. Sorry, not Ellis. I'm Ellis. You're Emil. Get in the wagon.
Okay. I'll climb in the wagon.
And then Lü'mis, as you are about like a mile ahead of everybody having run, why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check?
How many feet is a mile? Because
5,280.
Oh, I imagine like you didn't want to like book it off of the way when Emil is back here lagging. Maybe not a mile. Okay, you're right. Sorry.
Hey,
Sorry.
Let's stay metric here.
Okay, like 200 yards. Like 200 yards. That's not metric.
I just realized D&D doesn't use metric units.
I don't know metric very well.
Okay, let's use the actual units we're supposed to use.
Let's use the real measuring.
Yeah, this podcast is all about U.S. standard and landlords.
We're killing it today. You're about 200 yards away. Sorry, everybody.
This is a pro-capitalist podcast. and if you don't like it,
let's go back and eat those people.
No. Lü'mis, what did you roll for perception as you're about 200 yards in front of everybody else?
18.
You're able to see off the side of the road a little fox that's kind of darting across your path, sort of running little circles around you as you're jogging ahead of everybody, interacting with you. You know, it's like jumping around, trying to get your attention, perhaps.
What do you want? I asked the fox.
Roll a intimidation or persuasion check.
Same. 11.
It kind of just runs around you and then starts like running between like you and the right side of the path.
Do I get a sense it's trying to lead me that way?
Roll insight or animal handling, whichever you desire.
17?
17? You get the sense that it's trying to like get your attention and get you to follow it.
Lü'mis looks behind them, sees how far the others are, and can Lü'mis quickly run up to go back? Like, Lü'mis would like to backtrack very quickly to to be at the same pace, I guess, as the other two and tell them about the fox.
Okay, yeah, it takes like probably like a couple minutes for you all to intersect with each other as like they're still moving towards you. You're able to jog backwards and you're able to direct them to like where the fox is, who's still kind of like following you a little bit.
I look at the tunes like, do you see that fox over there? I think it wants us to go towards the right.
I mean, that sounds like a great idea. I mean, at this point, we're just listening to the earthen forest creatures, and they are going to guide us to safety.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Just to play devil's advocate, last time we veered off course following a creature, I bit something's head off. And we found some people who were involuntarily enslaved.
And we rescued them and got closer as friends. All in all, I'm looking at a win-win situation here.
You know what? That's an excellent point. I'm on board.
Do you take Gertrude with you, or are you kind of like hopping off the wagon?
I don't think we should leave Gertrude out here alone.
No, that landlord will acquire this course as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You know, assets are everything.
Exactly.
You take the wagon off the path, which you notice also as you're kind of entering into this area that it's a little bit less dense forest than what you've been traveling in recently. And go ahead and everyone roll a survival check as you attempt to follow this fox.
Hot. Dirty 20. Hot.
Damn.
17.
17 as well.
No problem. You all like are right on this fox's ass, basically, as it leads you into the forest. 100 yards in, where it brings you to like a fruit tree. It looks like there are pears, and it starts kind of darting around the tree.
This looks like it's a waste of time.
Well,
true. I am starving after seeing those root friends we made, but also do we hear like the sound of any sort of large monstrosity approaching in any direction at all?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
I'm gonna look closely at the pears to see if they look ripe and ready to eat and good for us.
Sure.
Healthy.
Go ahead, roll a nature check as you examine it, or investigation as you examine the pears.
12.
17.
Okay. You don't hear anything in particular. This seems to be like a pretty quiet part of the forest. You notice that it's like much more open in this area, and that there's, a couple fruit trees here, and there's, excuse me, sunlight is able to come down through here. It's not as dense. And with the 17, you do notice that the fruit seems to have like a little bit of it's like a different coloration. It's much more like golden than what you normally see from pears. Most pears, there's like brown pears and yellow pears and green pears, but this one seems like a little bit more golden and amber in color.
In a pleasant way, or in like
Yes.
a metallic, scary way? Okay.
A pleasant way.
These look very good. I've never seen pears quite this. I guess it's just the wild pears look like this. I guess.
Is anyone proficient in religion?
No.
Hell no.
Nah.
Quite the opposite.
Work.
Ellis says, I'm not questioning anything anymore. And I hop off the wagon and I run up to the tree and I grab a pear.
Get one for the fox. I think he wants one.
Sure, I'll grab one for all of us.
Okay. Yeah, you grab 4 pears.
5 for Gertrude, too.
5 for Gertrude. You give a pear to the fox, to Gertrude, to your companions. The fox excitedly sits down and kind of like nestles down to the pear, not eating it right away, but like looking excited that it has a pear.
Lü'mis, you don't want one, do you?
No, thank you.
You can have it, Ellis.
Can I have...
You take it.
Man, I don't... Look, y'all, like I said in episode 1 or 2, I don't remember. When there's food in front of you, you gotta eat it. And I take a bite of a pear.
Excellent. Roll a constitution check.
A 9.
9.
Hit me with it.
You did not grab a particularly tasty pear here. It seems you didn't do such a good job of picking out the ripe ones, so it's a little bit dense and not the tastiest pear you've ever tasted or anything. But you do get a point of inspiration as you eat the pear.
I already had one. Dang it. And I take a bite of it. I'm like, okay, so I don't think that they're fully all the way there yet, so maybe we should hold on to the others for tomorrow. But it's just a fucking pear, you weirdos. And I'm like, bye, Fox. And I hop back on the wagon.
Wait, I'm going to try it.
All right.
There's like, I can grab more, right? They're all right here. I can take more. I'll try my pear as well.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll a constitution check.
Just straight constitution?
Yes.
Oh, that's my main stat. 15.
Yeah, you managed to, I don't know if Ellis just handed you a better pear or you managed to find a better one on the tree, but yours is juicy, delicious, and you feel a little bit luckier as you get a point of inspiration.
Should use my inspiration points, huh?
God damn it.
So you metagame, you knew what it was gonna do. You still decided to be like, I want to take a bite too.
I thought maybe rolling higher would do something different. Okay, can I take like 10 pears?
Let's fucking steal everything.
You start grabbing pears. You already have collected like a couple, and as you go to grab like your fourth pear from the tree, the fox bites you on the ankle.
Oh, sorry. Are you being protective now? All right.
And it kind of like, you know how like, foxes kind of like giggle, you know?
Yeah.
And it kind of does that and then like lays
Ow.
back down with its pear.
All right.
If a fox made that sound, I would kill it.
They do.
They do. They
literally
do, like,
laugh like that.
They have little like cackles.
But they have like if it went
It's more like
I think that yeah, that sounds more like a fox.
All right. No swiping. Let's go.
So
I have
able.
3, you said?
So you have 3 that you're able to get. Ellis, you ate one, gave one to Emil, gave one to Gertrude, who ate it, and then you gave one to Lü'mis, who didn't want it. So you have 1 pear.
One. I'll take a pear.
Go ahead as you all are walking. I know no one's proficient in religion, but go ahead and as you all kind of head back to the main trail, roll a religion check.
9.
Okay.
9.
Oh,
Okay.
shit. Let's go. 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty
Dirty 20.
You all are putting 2 and 2 together as you're kind of walking back. Pear, feeling like a little bit luckier. A fox, a protective fox. You know that you've heard that in lore that if a fox leads you to fruit, it might be a blessing from Vulcanus, the god of luck, amongst other things. And so you're feeling a little bit better about the interaction, knowing that this was probably some interesting god interaction that you perhaps had.
Jeez. I can't believe, we just ran into a god's act of benevolence just out here in the woods. This continent is so much more magical than I thought it was. It's like everywhere. It's just like we saw pixies, and this god just gave us magic pears for no reason. We haven't done anything. We saw a walking piece of garlic earlier. Like I just I've only been in and around Venzor for most of my life, so this is just very surprising to me.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking kooky out here. That's for ding dang sure. I am kind of getting sick of it though. Ugh, just like there's so much. Everything's. It's like we can't take 5 steps. Let's again. I want to check. Do I hear? Wait. Are we still by the pear tree? Or are we?
No, you all turned back around and started going on the path again, the road.
I want to look behind us to see if I see any signs of something large following us again.
Sure. Now that you're kind of looking a little bit closer and like listening a little closer, you can roll investigation if you would like.
Oh nope, that's 7.
You're like a little distracted by hearing, feeling this god presence. You're like, oh, everything should be fine if the god of luck just kind of like graced us.
Lü'mis, having been around a little longer than us, is this your experience here in the continent or in the world, anywhere? Is that always like this? Every few steps you're running into something amazing?
Not this intense all at once. In my time, I've seen the, gradual increase of this wild magic everywhere, but not so all at once. Where I reside, it definitely was not almost literally every step you turn.
Are you also from more of a city area like I am?
No, more of secluded in cold mountains.
Oh, here in Istrun?
No.
Oh, you are well, welcome to our continent. It's good to have you.
Thanks, I guess.
For the listeners at home, Lü'mis is from Mooncrest, which is in the northern part of the continent of Aegea, which is the eastern continent of the world of Drugala. So
Are they connected? I haven't noticed. They're not connected by land. Okay.
they're not connected, so yeah, you wouldn't know that there's. You might have like heard of Mooncrest before, but you know that it's like a pretty, like it's hard to like get across the ocean. It's not. You can't just casually be like, I'm gonna go across the ocean. So you know that
Yeah.
a connection had to be made or something.
Yeah,
probably.
you've come quite a ways if you're all the way over here from another continent. That's, I'm sure, an interesting story if you're wanting to tell something during the next leg of our run.
Yeah, maybe.
This idea too of like run. Yes, I ran really good here not too long ago.
All right, shall we try to run past this thing again? It went so well the first time.
You all keep traveling throughout the day. You've had these interactions, and the sun is now starting to set. You don't run into this landlord creature that you're keeping an eye out for.
We got her. We got her, boys.
Eventually, sun falls, and it's time to make camp for the night as you all finish your day of travel.
Just wanted a quick check in, Lü'mis. I would personally like it if we both me and Emil stayed up for a portion of the watch with you, because last night you died.
Fair enough, I guess.
Nothing personal. It's just buddy system.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was probably unexpected seeing me just literally poof into mist, so I get you want to be extra careful.
Definitely. And it's good to have a buddy, right?
I guess.
That's a yes in my book. Man, I could kill for some like sauteed onions and mushrooms right now. I cannot get over it.
I can go gather for us if you'd like.
You see like two of them walking towards us and then walk the other direction as they hear.
Can I look around for some food to cook up?
Sure, go ahead and roll a survival check as you look around for food.
That's very good. 16 plus 4. 20.
Excellent.
Oh my god, how many dirty 20s have we rolled tonight?
Yeah, really, Jesus. You're able to go out and find some mushrooms that you know will be fine for eating. You find some wild garlic and onions. You check them to make sure they're not like alive humanoids and everything's good, just normal wild growth.
Say nothing if you consent to being cooked and eaten.
Nothing happens, so they're good to go. You find also some larger fruit. You find some like apples, also normal apples that you find off a tree.
Ellis, I'm gonna cook you up a great stew here. It's gonna have onions in it and mushrooms, and then if you're okay with it, you'll take the first watch, because all that running today, I'm exhausted.
30 feet of running will really do it to you, bud. I feel you.
Yeah, in that time, Lü'mis ran like 5,000 feet. It was crazy.
It was definitely longer than like 6 seconds of your time.
You took off like a bullet, Lü'mis. This is crazy. I didn't know you had that like you had those Twilight superpower. You're like a Twilight vampire.
Oh god.
Are you like Twilight?
Twilight?
Becky and I just talked about Twilight last night. It was crazy.
We did.
I'm gonna cook up some of these veggies for us to eat. By us, I mean just Alice and I.
Okay, you do that. You make a beautiful little saute, putting some like water and wine that you have in there to create a loose stew of apples, onions, mushrooms, and garlic.
Yummy.
Okay, honestly, that doesn't. I know you could, like, come on, a little woodsy vibe with some cooked apples. I don't think it'd be so bad.
No, it's just the
Oh, yeah.
phrase "loose stew" is not my
Oh,
favorite.
that was what the problem was.
So, I'm coming off of 7 days of being on the toilet a lot and having stomach illnesses, so that just didn't hit me right.
It's the Noro surprise.
It's delicious. Moving on. Who's taking the first watch?
I'm gonna get some sleep if that's okay.
Sounds good, bud.
All right. Lü'mis and Ellis, as you take your first leg of watch here, go ahead and roll perception. 8.
I got 8 too.
Nothing. You all have like a great time around the fire. If anything else, you're maybe a little gassy from the onions and garlic. Which, for those at home, if you don't know, if you have tummy troubles, try cutting those out. It does help. It sucks because they're delicious, but hard on the tummy to digest, as Ellis is experiencing.
I'd rather die. I turn to Lü'mis and I go, "Hey, Lü'mis, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
On a scale of like 1 to 10, when Elizabeth offered us that 100 gold to just like peace out, like how, where were you sitting on? If 10 was taken, if 1 was just say no."
That's a pretty good question. Honestly, I think a 10.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Wow. Yeah. I was pretty close to taking that money there.
Yeah, the 10 in the sense of just taking the money and running, but honestly an 11 and trying to figure out what this whole plant really meant.
No, isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm happy that Emil ended up kind of cluing us in on, you know, the purpose, because I mean, obviously, because Emil's such like a business savvy little guy, and I would think just 100 gold profit, like that's net, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just 100 gold wiser. But
Yeah,
a flower?
he seems like the landlord type, so you think he would have just taken the 100 gold.
Yeah, and I think it's admirable that, you know, for some strange reason, he chose people over profit. Like, what kind of crazy idea is that?
Yeah, and all of my years, usually businesses don't do people over profit.
Pretty crazy. Well, I mean, cool. I'm just, you know, I kind of felt guilty, I guess, about like really wanting that money and kind of potentially screwing y'all over.
And
but
we don't really know each other. I mean, we know each other more than 4 days ago, but you shouldn't feel guilty.
It's good to know. Well, I think I'm gonna go wake up Emil. I think it's time that I mean, do you want like the middle watch alone or the last watch alone?
I'll do the last watch alone.
Okay. I'll mosey on over to Emil, and I kind of nudge him.
Wake up.
Seductively.
I grab his thigh and I'm just like, "Hey."
I think Emil wakes up in a bit of a startled state.
It's okay.
God,
It's okay.
I was
It's
having a
okay. It's
nightmare
okay.
about.
It's okay. You're just fine.
Yeah, I just keep reliving the moment where I passed up 100 free gold.
It'll haunt me for the rest of my days, my friend. But it's your turn to go
good.
peer into the void of night. I'll go bed now. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Lie down in a immediate fall asleep.
All right. Emil and Lü'mis, go ahead and roll perception for the second watch.
Oof. Natural one.
Ooh.
22. No, just a 20.
Okay.
I'm not proficient. No, I am proficient. 22.
Lü'mis, you're just kind of just sitting there.
I'd like to think Lü'mis is stretching after running so much.
Yeah, you're really focused on. Yeah, you're like well,
really focusing on my downward dog, cat cows,
doing some yoga. Yeah, practicing your like
child
monkish
pose.
stuff. Yeah.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, Emil, you are able to hear in the distance a very, very, very quiet like dum, dum, dum. It sounds like footsteps almost, not coming closer, not going away, just like very, very, very quiet. You think it sounds rhythmic enough to be footsteps, but it's kind of like that deep sound of like something hitting the ground far away.
Oh, that's creepy. I won't say anything about it right now.
Okay.
So that I don't alert it, but I'll sometime like after hearing this, it's like consistent. Like if I stop and just listen for like 15 minutes, it's just constant the whole time.
It'll pause every once in a while, so it kind of
Okay.
like makes sound, pauses, continues.
Hey, I have a question for you, Lü'mis. I told you a little bit more about myself yesterday than I am comfortable telling people. Have you ever seen anything like this? Like what's happening to me? Where I'm slowly turning into a plant?
I've seen people turn into things. Definitely not a plant.
It's weird. If I don't use this ability, I suppose, if I don't engage with my changes, I get really sick, like to the point where people noticed how sick I was. So it just feels unsustainable. That's why I want to keep chasing after this plant, and why I passed up that chance for the money.
Have you
Anyway.
tried, I don't know, like, I guess succumbing to this thing that's taking over you, kind of feeding the beast, if you will?
Is that what you did?
I mean, I kind of didn't really have a choice.
I feel like I still have a choice at the moment, and enough reason to resist. I don't want whatever this is. I just want to go home.
Fair enough, but maybe you kind of listening to it can do more good than harm. Like I told you, I don't eat people. I don't suck people's blood. I've kind of changed my ways. Maybe you can figure something out for you.
That's good advice. Sometimes it makes sense to go deeper down a rabbit hole to come out stronger on the other side. I'll think about that. The other thing I wanted to say, and I'll get into a whisper, is that for a little bit now, while we've been sitting here, there's something just walking a perimeter around us. Do you hear it? There's footsteps out there. It's not getting any closer, but it's out there for sure.
With him pointing it out, Becky, do I maybe notice it more? Or notice it
Go
at all
ahead.
now?
Roll another perception check.
Okie dokie. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. 6.
Nope. You take his word on it, but you don't hear it yourself.
I mean, I believe you. I don't hear anything, but is it coming from a general direction? Is it just circling us?
It's kind of all around us.
It's hard to tell, I think, whether it's like all around you. It does seem to be coming from like a general direction.
Okay.
Is it? It's dark. It's like the middle of the night, or it's dark, right?
Yeah.
So I have superior dark vision.
You do. You
for
do.
up to 120 feet. Do I see anything?
You do not. It's like completely
Okay.
nothing. Like, and it's not like anything's like hiding. It is like just empty woods out here. Not suspiciously empty or anything. Like there's still, like a possum or something. But You do not hear anything. You do not see anything in the dark.
I'm a little worried about going back to sleep, even though I feel like I need it. I don't want to leave you alone with whatever's out there.
I think it's important you get your rest. I'll be sure to wake both of you up if anything gets closer, if I notice anything more ominous.
Okay. I promise last question about this for like a full day. Yesterday, when you were dead, you said you don't really die, I guess, unconscious. When you were in your gaseous state, you looked like something. Like not yourself. You looked like another, I don't know, person or figure. Who was that?
I mean, it's still technically me. You can think of it as a birthmark of sorts.
Like this form you turned into was like it's special to you? There's no others like you?
Never met anyone else that can do this. You know, I've killed a few things, people, creatures, and I've never seen it. Only on myself.
And in my eyes, maybe this is an assumption, that sounds pretty isolating.
Yeah, that's not an assumption. That's pretty accurate.
Are you sure I should try and give in to this thing then? Because no offense to you, I don't mean this in a mean way. That doesn't sound ideal for me.
Fair. But you also mentioned that you have a business with other people that care about you.
That's right.
Maybe that's something that we don't have in common.
Thank you for the perspective. Please wake us up if something happens.
Will do. Good night.
Great. Lü'mis, it is now the final watch. Go ahead and roll perception.
Okay.
This time with advantage, as you've looked around the area, you've heard from Emil that there's something out there.
14.
You are able to very, very faintly hear something, just thump, thump, kind of just hitting the ground, like very, very faintly.
From any particular area, or just is it coming closer, or is it just somewhere?
It is just somewhere out there.
I'd like to just kind of make a circle around our camp, just very actively and intently looking into the distance. If I hear the thud, jolting to that direction.
Okay. Yeah, you do that, and you take like you take a nice perimeter around your camp, and you're listening for this sound, and it never seems to be getting closer. In fact, when you're on like the southeastern side of your camp, it seems to be quieter, so you sort of locate it to be to the northwest of your camp in the direction that you all have been going.
So it's in the direction where we've been going and where we're heading?
Yes.
Okay. But it's not getting closer, I just hear it.
Yes, not getting any closer.
Okay. Since I feel like I know where it's coming from, I intently just look in that direction. Every now and then checking my perimeter, but just very intently looking in that direction in case I see anything or I hear the noise get closer.
You do that, nothing seems to happen. You maybe see like more animals coming from like that direction, not in such like an exodus as you did earlier, but you notice that you connect, like I hear a thumping sound, I hear like a bird a little bit later kind of like coming this direction. You all wake up ready for the day, hook up Gertrude to the wagon. Is there anything you want to do before you head out for the day?
I would just, as the two wake up, I just tell them, or because Emil was the first one to hear it, right?
Yeah.
Emil, I think I noticed the same thing, the same sound you were mentioning last night. It's coming from that direction, and Lü'mis points, you said northwest, right?
Yes.
That direction, which is the direction we're headed, so I think we should be cautious as we move forward. It didn't get any closer. It kind of was consistently just in that direction.
Sounds like a plan. Maybe we can also look around to see if we notice anything weird.
Yeah, I didn't saw a few animals come out of the woods in that direction. Not a mass exodus like with the onions and garlic, but
yeah,
suspicious.
I had a thought last night that there should be a lot of vacant houses around here, but then I remembered they're all like a foot high, so it's not really useful to us.
God damn it.
We could have been sleeping on top of them for all we know.
Oh, I would know. I would know if they were near.
You all head out for the day. You travel about an hour, and you think you're in the general area that was on like the map of like, this is where the caravan was like ambushed. You do notice that that sound that Emil and Lü'mis that you heard does seem to be a little bit louder. It's still faint. It doesn't seem to be like moving towards you. It seems to be in like a location that you all are sort of traveling either like around or kind of towards, but it doesn't seem like it's moving towards you necessarily, and it's still not extraordinarily loud by any means, but just way more noticeable that Ellis, you start to hear it as well. But as you enter into this area where you think that the caravan is, can everybody roll an investigation check?
All right.
Dirty 20.
This is the bad one.
18.
I'm going to use my inspiration point because I rolled a 7. That's a 14.
Okay. The three of you sort of getting into this area that you think the caravan is. You start moving a little bit slower, looking around the area. It takes you about an hour of slowly going and looking on either side of the road to eventually find wheel tracks in the mud off the side of the road. And looking around the area, you see that the tracks go into the woods, like 100 feet, and you're able to easily sort of spot where a decimated caravan of sorts is in the woods.
Well, I think that might be our mark. We should probably move towards it together. Maybe we can probably leave Gertrude away, and three of us can approach on foot, maybe.
And keep an eye out for any suspicious plants.
Yeah, we're looking for a gross, spooky, mossy thing.
Yeah, they said it also can kill the ground around it, so look for any signs of death or decay, I guess.
Do any of us have a fucking jar or a bottle or a Tupperware?
They said it should be in a box.
Oh, but if the box is smashed,
I think safely they probably gave you all a crate with the wagon. They're like, here's a box or a crate with the wagon. Do with that what you can.
Oh, that's what the box is for. Let me take all the
we
pears.
will retcon a little bit.
Take all the pears out.
There's 3 pairs in this giant crate. Okay, you all move towards follow the tracks into where you find this sort of decimated area. The remains you found are a few overturned wagons. There's a few bags and crates that remain, but digging through it, you don't really notice anything of note. This clearly isn't all of what was in the caravan to begin with. You can choose to investigate to see if you can find anything else, though, as you all get to this area.
Can y'all tell what's the cause of the crash? Were they do you see any tracks of anything that attacked them? They said they were attacked, right?
Yeah, Lü'mis would like to either look at the wreckage or around to see if there's any tracks or claw marks or anything of the sort.
Okay. Yeah, why don't all 3 of you roll an investigation check?
12.
13.
14.
Okay, you can see that
bonus points because we got
Ooh. You can see that these wagons were very crudely destroyed, and that there's no like footprints outside of like a normal kind of like caravan of people who like went this way. It would be possible to get the like one of the wagons going again. It doesn't seem like it was like expertly destroyed. It wasn't like, exploded or anything. You kind of guess that someone maybe just like took an axe to this wagon, but you don't see any monster tracks. You don't see any animal tracks, nothing like that. But this was clearly placed in a way that someone would assume something happened here.
Does it look staged?
Yes, yeah. It looks a little bit staged. Like you're not getting anything that like another party kind of came in. It almost looks like the caravan was like moved off to the side of the road, and that people like kind of just like took clubs and axes to everything to sort of like bust it up.
Is there any sign of the plant we're looking for?
You do not see anything. You can't make it out, or you can't find any signs of it. You do hear that thumping noise is a little bit louder than it was before when you were on like the road.
Oh shit. It's the landlord.
It doesn't appear to. It's not moving towards you though. It's just you perhaps move towards it.
We don't see anything other than the wreck.
Yeah, you do not see anything else.
We should for sure search the area to make sure it didn't just get taken somewhere nearby, or it didn't just roll away. I hate to say it, but maybe going towards the source of that distressing sound is...
No, like, obviously, like, it's the big thump, like, I think we're looking at a destroyed caravan that's been beaten to shit. There's obviously something thumping around.
Well, we know Elizabeth's people did the wreck. They kind of owned up to that this was all planned by them.
Yeah, but I think it's, oddly coincidental that we're also hearing the sound of something big thumping around nearby the site that we've been traveling a while to see.
Yeah. What I don't understand, if I guess we'll have to see if the plant is even here, or if Elizabeth's people took it. Why would she try to bribe us if it wasn't still here? Is my thing. Why not just let us come here and see that it's not here anymore? It has to be here.
I think that they staged the shit, and then after they staged it, they got attacked by probably that big thumping landlord. Took what was probably rightfully his by all extents of the law, and we should go see if we could maybe trade some assets for it.
Becky,
vis-a-vis the gold standard.
The first night that the three of us convened in the Squirrel's Folly, and we saw Elizabeth, wasn't she all like scratched up and stuff? She had like wounds. Is that right?
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Elizabeth, the first night we saw her and talked to her, Lü'mis, remember she was beat up, so some kind of skirmish did happen, or they attacked each other and to make it look more realistic. But yeah, I guess that's a good story, Ellis, because they did fight something.
Should we just try to sneak up to the sound?
Well, I mean, let's not go in guns a-blazing and stuff like that. But yeah, I think what we're looking for is literally in the direction that we're headed. Let's go check it out.
Gertrude, stay.
I assume you left her. I think you left her on the road a little bit and then walked into the woods. You have her tied to a tree, but you all head away from this broken up caravan towards the sound, and go ahead and roll a stealth check as you head that way.
21.
5.
21.
You all are headed. You hike for about half a mile into the woods. It's starting to get much darker. The growth around you is much denser. There's more underbrush here, and you're kind of noticing that there's some sort of like very crude trail that was sort of created. Someone took like a machete basically and was like hacking away to get through this area. Lü'mis and Ellis, you all are very quiet. There's some noise as you are going through some underbrush, but unfortunately Emil is getting some coughing fits as you all make your way through the forest. Walking further still, you're making your way even more northward, and you notice as the air is starting to feel a little bit cooler, and at times you can see your breath. This crude trail leads you up to a sloping path where it then comes to a stop as you see before you a sight of sorts. The sound now you identify that you've been hearing belongs to that of a large wooden giant of sorts, a golem, if you will. It's sort of looking around before turning and marching around a perimeter. It stops and looks again and looks out, continuing to do this. You all make your way up to the hill. And Emil, why don't you go ahead and roll a constitution check to see how well you can contain your composure here as you make your way towards this golem.
That's a natural 1 for a total of 4.
Ooh.
If I could, this is in relation to my coughing. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think I go into like one of those coughs where like I have to stop walking, and like my face goes really red. And on the last cough, you all see a tiny cloud of spores shoot out of my mouth.
And as Emil has this fit, the golem stops, turns and looks right at you all. And that is where we will stop for tonight.
Sorry, y'all.
I'm gonna shake his hand.
This could, I think, get dicey.
I'm gonna shake that landlord's hand. Good job.
Shake his hand.
Well done.
Cough into your
Let me
hand.
shake your hand.
And here comes the music.
See ya.
I thought you were going to say, and here comes the landlord.
No.
That's the name of the episode title.
Yeah, write that one down.
May the gods bless Drugala, and may they also bless the landlords. You can find This Could Get Dicey where all podcasts are streamed, and on Instagram at TCGDpod. If you found our antics enjoyable, help us out by leaving a rating or a review, and maybe even sharing it with a friend. Thanks for joining us. We're off next week for a little bit of rest, so catch up and join us on Wednesday, May 3rd, baby.